Scaling too fast and without systems is how most restaurants and most businesses collapse. And I have lived through every version of that chaos. But once I learned how to manage my operations and financials and people the right way, I was able to scale to 12 thriving and successful restaurants without losing my mind. I am Mike Bausch, Oklahoma Small Business Entrepreneur of the Year, and here I'm going to share how to scale your restaurant or any business for that matter, without sacrificing your health or your livelihood. So first, let's talk about the right time to scale. The best time to expand is when your current operation is profitable and systemized. That means it's repeatable and delegatable. If you could take a 2-week vacation with little to no interruptions by text or phone call, you have a good setup.
I just got back from vacation, man.
If your numbers don't slip and your guest experience doesn't go to all crap, then again, you have something that is built as a business. And if you have that set up, now is the time to clone what is working. If you don't, it's time to go back to basics and systemize. You should scale when you are turning away business because you can't produce enough in your current setup. When your team is running at 85 to 95% capacity, they are not burnt out, they are optimized. Scaling before that is a recipe for burning out and for everything falling in on itself. Doing it too early, it burns cash, burns labor. So whatever your first business is, it must be flawless and autonomous. Most businesses run on the owner. They are a keystone in that business. And the staff are all great because they're working with the owner. So you're like, hey, we're doing great. It's all based on your expertise. It's not based on a system. It is not autonomous. That's why being able to step out for 2 weeks to 3 months is how you stress test it to see, is this a money maker? Is this a profit machine? Or is this just a place where I go to work and everyone digs me and it just works out because of that? If reviews stay high with you not in the mix, then you have a business. And again, this is when you should scale. Before that, you are adding more weight to a backpack that you could barely hold. The wrong time to expand, you're still putting out daily fires. If you're like, well, it's not a big deal or I don't really mind, you should. That's your ego saying, I love the need to be needed. I love that they ask me. I love being the one that they need. And that hurts you, them, and the health of the business. A lot of owners will expand way too early because they're just bored. They think, you know what? Let's go get the new bright and shiny thing. They haven't remotely maximized the first location. They just feel, well, we have to be growing, so let's do another, before they have solidified what this brand is and how to maximize its efficiency. If you haven't squozen all that could be squozen from the lemon, get to squozing, because if you don't, you are leaving money on the table and you really haven't maximized the profit percentage that you are going to need to take to that next location. Because if you expand on the chaos, you multiply chaos. And I'm gonna tell you, that's a bad multiplier. So what systems do you need? Well, first, financial tracking. Obvious, right? Is it? Most businesses use QuickBooks, and QuickBooks is great for tax accounting. It's not ideal for business decisions. I've seen very few businesses that can live on QuickBooks alone to make their business decisions. Along with that, training. Training should never just be one-to-one. It should be on-site, one-to-one, and some type of book, PDFs, videos, something documented that they tangibly answer test questions in, and they see visual representations of how to do it right. No matter the business, having a solid book training, i.e. something you sit down to learn, is the mandate for a proper training program. Along with that, marketing must be systemized to be consistent. And if you have one solid marketing channel, that is not enough. When that marketing channel goes sideways, whether it's a social media platform or email, you're screwed. Even if it's just word of mouth advertising, you need something else for when the leads dry up. And to get all this connected, you have to stand for something. It sounds like happy corporate crap, but core values matter. What do we stand for? What do you need to be to have success in this business? And that has to be obvious. If you have it in your head, oh, well, they should just know. They don't, and you're screwing up by not telling them, because they need to know what you stand for and what your vision for this business is so they can align it to themselves. So know your numbers before you grow. Obvious, right? Not obvious to everyone. A lot of people just rely on their CPA to tell them 3 months later if they're coming or going. That's like trying to lose weight and you find out in March what you weighed in December. It's not a good path to getting healthy. If you don't have financial acumen to know your numbers, your growth is a guess, and guessing is gambling. So ask yourself this right now. What is your profit percentage? After taxes, labor, utilities, and all your cogs, what's your profit percentage? How much cash reserves do you have? Do you have 1 month, 0 months, 3 months, 6 months? Because if you don't have 6 months, you're not really safe. Right now, before you scale, are you aware of your customer acquisition cost, your CAC, and your lifetime value from those customers? If that rattles off, great. If you're like, what? Not good. For restaurants, what's your exact food cost? Exact. Not the one that your point of sale tells you, but your exact. Same thing for labor. Also, what is your profit margin on your highest selling item? How many of that item have you sold? And what's your average ticket value? Do you know all those like that? Or was it, hold on, wait 1 sec, I think, hold on. If you don't have it at the ready, you don't have it. If your customer acquisition cost is higher than your lifetime value, you are not prepared to scale. And be clear with yourself. Scaling always costs more and always takes longer than you think it will. And very few businesses that scale super fast ever are like, man, that was a great decision. It's about slow, steady, profitable growth. Also, it's rarely a good idea to fund your growth from your existing cash flow. That's how a lot of good concepts die. You got to keep your financials tight. You do need QuickBooks. It's just something that should gear your CPA. You need that tight for taxes, and your financials very representative of how you live your life with your routine, with the metrics that move the needle for you. And a spreadsheet is only as valuable as you using it. So having, oh my God, we have the prettiest spreadsheet with a pie chart. Cool story, bro.
This is a pie chart describing my favorite bars.
If you don't use it, it was a lot of work for no result. It's worthless. And I see it in every business. All these random data metrics that you're like, well, we have this. Cool. Does it matter? Did you make a decision change because of that? No. Worthless. If you measure it and you use it, great. If you're measuring it and not using it, then before you delete it, stop and say, hey, what would it take for me to look at this? A notification, email of that report sent to me, time at a meeting where we talk about it? Because if that's the thing that could move the needle, that's what we need to implement today. Because scale will always add more stress, but it won't always add more success. Without all these systems, your growth is just more stress disguised as ambition. Next, we need to leverage our systems and our tools. This is the antidote to burnout, because scaling to 12 locations came down to one word and one thing only: systems. When I started, I was the system. I was the one who answered the call at 2 a.m. I'm the one who made the schedule on Excel. I'm the one who ran payroll. I'm the one who did prep. I'm the one who cleaned on the weekends and on the weekdays and every day, because I didn't take a day off for the first 400 days. But the breakthrough was realizing that hard work doesn't scale. It grows ego, it grows self-worth, but it also creates burnout and makes you the keystone, which is a path to death, business death. So that means you got to document every go. If you're like, but I'm not an admin person. First off, anything you want to have off your plate, you can figure out. There's never been better tools to utilize than we have today. Every closing procedure, every startup, every report to be run, whether it's in person or on a computer, there is a way to make an SOP from it. Handling a complaint, loss prevention, scripting for problematic scenarios, they can all be systemized. And they can't live here. They have to be on paper. And if not on paper, on a Google Doc. And with a Google Doc, a video. And with that video, an explanation. And with that explanation, a portal to access it. So you could free yourself from being the bottleneck who just has it all up here. So let me show you how to do an SOP easier than ever before. Imagine you have something that you do on your computer, placing an order, a very specific order from a very specific website. Here's how to do it. Create a Loom. A Loom is a screen recording software. Choose your own. Loom is great. You do the Loom of you doing it, saying what you're doing. Hey, I log in at this place. I use this name and password from LastPass, an easy password manager tool that provides security to you and your staff. And then I do this, I add this, I do this, and then I check out. Boom. Now that video, you take the transcript of it, you say copy transcript, go into AI like ChatGPT and say, take this Loom transcript and give me an SOP document from it. Boom. Now you have an SOP, now you have a video, and then you can put this into a task manager app or simply a Google Doc and say, hey, whenever you need to do it, reference this, or a weekly task that's recurring with this reference point. Now you never have to do that order ever again. You have it documented. And if someone has to do it and it's not you or a different person, you just show them the document instead of retraining them yourself. Now that one task is off your plate, which leaves you more plate, and more plate means you can expand. This is how you build it out so your team can run without you, so that your staff can trade the next group of staff. That is how you clone success. That is how you clone you.
Cool.
Hey, and you can learn more about these strategies and the ways to up-level you, your restaurant, your business, and your life in this next video. How to keep your restaurant staff happy and turnover low. And hey, I'll cover the hires that you need to make as well. So build an accountability structure. Whatever your workflow, you need middle management, upper management, and a pathway and an org chart for all of them. In a restaurant, it's a GM, a front of house manager, potentially a kitchen manager. These people are not there to create systems. They are there to enforce your systems. They have to have accountability tied into what they do so that they do more of it and protect your time and your culture. This does not mean fancy org charts from a program that costs $5,000. You could do this on Canva. If you don't have Canva, get Canva. It makes social media super easy, documents, any presentation. It's awesome and it's super cheap. And that which you can automate. Don't automate humanity, but automate grunt work. Whatever your CRM in any business you have has to be used. Not just the one guy who knows how to use it, but everyone aware of the best ways to utilize it and then doing it. So you know your sales, your labor, your margins, and your growth at a glance. If you could check your business status right now from your phone in under 2 minutes, you got a good setup. If you don't even know where to start, you don't. And once you have that setup, then you're prepared to scale. Hey, in my next video, I'm going to go over all the different tech items that we use for our restaurants so you can use them yourself. Subscribe so you don't miss out on that. Next, hire to replace, not to relieve. If your team is so important that no one can be replaced, that's bad. If they're saying, well, we don't need new people, we're a family, that's you being held hostage as an owner. Everyone should be a high-level team member that you care about, but they should be not irreplaceable. Everyone should have their SOPs, have a clear path to knowing their task, how to do their task, the things they need to accomplish their task, and then the ideological buy-in to want to do that task. And for you, start offloading that which drains you. If you hate the finances, you still need to know the metrics. You still need to do it at least once and then train someone else to do it your way and then never do it again and only look at the data points instead of making the data points. Train everyone else for autonomy so that people are decision makers and not order takers, knowing your decision matrix the way you decided for yourself. You have to build mini owners who are leaders leading like you would lead. This means that they're incentivized to win with you. So if you won, they get profit share or bonuses. If every hire makes you less essential, you are doing this correctly. But you should focus on what you should do, i.e. that which moves the needle. If you are the brand voice, then be on camera. That's gonna move the needle. If you're the one making the negotiation that gives more revenue to the bottom line, that's your role. Sweeping at midnight is not your role. If you wanna do it to lead by example, I applaud you, but it shouldn't be the thing that everyone's relying on you to do. Because scaling is not about more locations, it's about more revenue turning into more profit. Because I'd rather have more profit out of one store than zero profit out of multiple. And to get more profit, to squeeze more from the lemon, that starts with negotiations. You negotiating with every vendor, not one or two, not your main, but all of them, establishing who's a partner and who's a pariah. We turn our partners into better partners and we switch our pariahs to partners, or we remove and replace them. We get with all of them to say, hey, is this the best deal we can get? And what can we do to make your quarter that much better so they want to work with it for us? That means looking at rebates, looking at new programs, new software, new items, all of it with every single partner, every single quarter. That's how you get a core business to print profit predictably. And then you have earned the right to expand. Also, I published a video on ways to increase profit per store. And like all the videos I mentioned, it's in the description. Check it out. Next, you have to protect you, your energy, your mind. If you're super burnt out and then burning yourself out even more, drinking or half-assing on the limited time you have extra, it's going to collapse. You have to make yourself the best version of you, which means getting your stress off and then maximizing your mind. A good night's sleep, a healthy workout. Taking care of yourself makes you a better owner. No one could say otherwise. So that way you could take your limited time and block it out for strategy, not just random tasks, and have your mind at the highest level acumen to take on that strategy. So that when there is a problem, you can ask, is this a systematic issue or a one-off? And not react all the time to the one-offs, but create systems to have no more one-offs. Because the one-offs are rarely one-offs. If it happens once a year, that's not a one-off, that's systemic. If you love what you do, do that which you love, but systemize every part of it so that you are never needed. It must run without you to be great. This means to be unsliced, that your brain, your body, and your being are all connected. It's more than spreadsheets, it's more than SOPs. It means that you stand for something and that you're moving towards that goal. It's not about just being lazy and not doing tasks. It's about being the best version of you as an owner to create health and safety through a strong business. A team with zero ego, willing to admit they're wrong and willing to fix it. That's how you scale while still being the best version of yourself possible, the best family member, the best mom, dad, brother, all that connected, and the best owner. Because when you're a great owner, you make other people great with you. And if you're ready to scale and looking to scale now and looking to be the best version of yourself, book a restaurant review call. The link is in the description. We will talk about your exact business and the path to get you to your next goal, a 90-day plan strategy. And if you rock with us, great. If you don't, you're coming off that call better than when you went in. Again, the link is in the description. And if you want it, you can get it. I believe in you if you believe in you. So start believing. I'll see you on the next one.